All conditions in the Israeli prison were terrible, but for me the hardest part was giving birth to my first child in an environment that lacked basic human and normal conditions. I gave birth with my feet shackled and my hands cuffed.
Assalamu alaikum, Samar. Welcome to Bursa. Could you introduce yourself to us?
Thank you, and I express my gratitude to the Huzma and our Heritage Association for bringing me to Bursa. My name is Samar Sober, a woman who has regained her freedom from Israeli prisons. Because I gave birth to my child in prison, they called me the mother of the smallest masterpiece. Imagine a 24-year-old woman, just 3 months married and 1 month pregnant. One day, during the early hours of the morning, they come to her home at the time of dawn prayer and brutally arrest her. Just think about the state of this woman. In the sacred land of Palestine, thousands of Palestinian women have either been martyred, imprisoned, or wounded. Since 1967, Israel has been arresting Palestinian women. They keep these women in underground solitary cells, where there are all kinds of pests. Hundreds of women in Israeli prisons suffer from diseases like cancer. Some have been burned or are tortured, while others have had to give birth in prison. I am here at Huzma to share these stories. I am a living witness to the torture inflicted by Israel on Palestinian women. When I was arrested, I was 1 month pregnant, and they forced me to have a cesarean section in prison. I stayed in that prison with my child. Palestinian women continue to demonstrate incredible heroism. They endure the most disgusting forms of oppression, like torture, arrests, and the imprisonment of their children. From the Huzma platform, I raise my voice. The occupying Israel makes no distinction between women and children. They treat the entire Palestinian people with the same cruelty. Occupying Israel prevents Palestinians from reaching Al-Aqsa Mosque and puts up every obstacle to stop them from praying. The Palestinian people are unarmed. Their strength comes from their faith in Allah and their patience. As a final word, I want to say this: the Palestinian women and people feel the genuine bond and love that the Turkish people, especially Turkish women, have for the Palestinian cause, and we do not feel alone in this. I know this video will spread across the world, and I declare here that the cruelty of the occupying Israel has reached its peak. Beautiful days when we will enter Al-Aqsa Mosque together with praises and victory are near.
What was the worst thing you experienced in Israeli prison?
All conditions in the Israeli prison were terrible, but for me, the hardest part was giving birth to my first child in an environment that lacked basic human and normal conditions. I gave birth with my feet shackled and my hands cuffed, and my family wasn't there. I couldn't get the necessary food, and I didn't know what to do. This was the hardest moment of my life, and even during the birth, they didn't remove my handcuffs. According to the International Declaration of Children's Rights, my child deserved to grow up in normal conditions. Instead, my child grew up in prison, deprived of sunlight, clean water, healthy food, and the chance to play. He spent 3 years like this. They treated both me and my child as terrorists.
Your child was born under the conditions of prison. How did they react to the outside world after being released?
When I was released from prison, my family greeted me. My child felt very strange. He was scared of anything that moved. He didn't know anyone except the women in the prison. This caused me great emotional pain. When I regained my freedom and returned home, my family had prepared delicious meals for me, but I couldn't fully enjoy them because I had left behind my imprisoned sisters. They couldn't eat those meals, so my joy wasn't complete. The day my sisters are freed from prison will be the day my happiness is truly complete.
What is the source of your strength? What do you rely on?
First of all, a Palestinian's bond with God is incredibly strong. From the life of our prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, we understand that patience and sacrifice are necessary to liberate the holy lands of Islam under occupation. We cling to prayer because it strengthens our connection with Allah. Another source of our strength is knowing that Muslims support our cause. Knowing that they spread the word about the oppression inflicted by occupying Israel using platforms like social media gives us strength. We will defend our land until our last breath. Allah's help is near.